Hello, I think we're live. Let me just go check around and make sure that it's working everywhere. And I think we're live.
Oop.
Let me just go check around and make sure that it's working everywhere. And
Hold on a
I think we're live.
second.
Let me just go check around and make sure that it's working everywhere. And
Okay, it's working on YouTube. All right, I think we're working. I think we're live. If you're here, say hello. You might need to click on a little StreamYard link to make sure that your name shows up for me.
make sure.
Yeah, it looks like everything's working. If you can hear me, let me know. I see Deep True Crime. Hi, Deep True Crime. And thank you for letting me know that you're here. And please say hello. So I don't know what's going on today, but I'm having trouble with my autoresponder. I've sent out multiple emails today to my list, and there's been like a major delay. So I don't think that my list has actually received the email about this yet. So I don't know how many people will be here. But oh, you did get my email about this? Oh, sweet. Good to know, because it's showing that it's still sending in mine. And I didn't usually I get it as well, and I didn't get it. So that's weird. And I sent out another email this morning that took forever for it to go through. So not sure what's going on. I apologize for my voice. It's weird today. Really weird today. And so anyway, we are live right now on YouTube and Facebook and a couple of different places. So let me know. Well, if you leave me a comment and say hi, it'll show me where you're at. So definitely, I've got all the comments right here in front of me coming in on StreamYard. So regardless of where you're commenting, I will see you and be able to reply to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, yeah. So that email that you got, it says the only email I got was life is fragile, love is glue. That was an email I sent out this morning that took forever to go out. And now there's one that's supposed to be going out about this event right now. It was supposed to go out like a half an hour ago, but it didn't go. Like it's still showing as sending in my autoresponder. So I don't think anybody got it. That's okay. They'll just have to watch the replay. But as you guys probably know, I have been kind of MIA here on YouTube. YouTube's probably wondering where I've been. And so much has happened since I've talked to you guys. So I just thought it would be easier to just jump on live and kind of talk about stuff. So as I said in the description for this live, I was traveling for about a month, on and off, but mostly on for about the entire month of November. And one of the most monumental things that happened during that time, I had multiple trips to multiple different places, but one of the big things that happened was an event that I went to in Phoenix called Freedom Fest. And so I went to this event in Phoenix, and then from there I went on a trip to Sedona. And then I flew home, and I was home for like 2 days. And then I turned around and drove 20 hours up to New England to spend Thanksgiving with my friends and family up there. I am so sorry about my voice, you guys. I don't know what's going on with it. So anyway, I have just been going, and I haven't, I'm finally home. I'm finally getting settled back in at home and finally having a chance to kind of process everything that happened in the month of November. And I wanted to share some stuff with you guys about Freedom Fest, because so much happened at that event, like on so many different levels. And I'm not going to be able to go into it all in this session today. And I'm going to be creating little separate pieces of content about specific things. But since it's been so long, like the event was already a month ago, and I'm just now like getting settled in back at home. So I just wanted to jump on and share some of my takeaways and some of the transformation that happened there and some of my experiences, and just kind of like what happens at these events. What is a Freedom Crusader? Who comes to these events, and like what do we do at these events, right? So I figured that I would just kind of talk about all of that stuff. If my voice gets too annoying, tell me in the comments and I'll just be done for today and record this later. But yeah, it's super, super, super annoying. Let me take a drink. Okay. So anyway, our Freedom Fest event, this was the second Freedom Fest event. The first one was in January. And at this point, going forward, they're all going to be in November 11th. They like to always have them on 11/11. So our next one is scheduled to be in Charlotte, North Carolina in November of 2023. This one was in Phoenix, Arizona. And so it was amazing. And like I said, a lot of things happened. If you were at that event, whether you're live or watching the replay, let me know in the comments if you were at the Freedom Fest event. If you were, I'm sure I talked to you and met you and stuff. The nice thing about these events, for one, is that they're not so big yet that, it feels very intimate still, which is amazing. So anyway, the event, basically the way that they work is we have a travel day on on each end, and then 3 full days together where we do different things. So the first day of the event, everyone kind of arrives the day before, the night before, and then the first full day of the event is the day where we're at the hotel and we have speakers lined up all day long, talking about different topics. And I had the honor of being one of those speakers, which was amazing. And we just have such valuable speakers that speak all day long. And then after dinner, they do like an awards ceremony recognition where they give out different awards for all kinds of different things. It's a lot different than anything else I've ever done. All right. So first of all, many of us at the event are all part of a company, like we're affiliates for a company that is kind of under the umbrella of the Freedom Crusaders, right? But there are people at the event that aren't part of that, who are there because they're part of our community. We have a daily call that we do every day, and there are people on that call that love to plug in for the mindset training and stuff that aren't necessarily doing the same type of work that many of us are doing. So there's a mix of people at these events. So the awards that they give out are a lot different than what you've probably seen if you've ever been in a network marketing company or another type of business, where a lot of the awards are based on how much money you make or ranks. Like, we don't have any of that here. So the awards that they give out are so meaningful. They're always based on like character awards, and our community gets to vote for people, like just not like from a list of awards, but like if you see somebody doing something outstanding, we have a place where you can go and just like put in a vote for that person and say why you're putting in a vote for that person. And then they create awards based on the people that got votes and like what their character is like. And they create awards like specific to these people. And it's really, really, really awesome. And then there are other awards that are based on one of the charity that we support is called Feed My Starving Children. And so for every sale that we make in our affiliate program, a percentage of that sale, not out of our affiliate commission, but out of the rest of the money of the sale, a percentage of that gets donated to Feed My Starving Children. So each of us is responsible for donating a certain amount of meals to Feed My Starving Children based on our sales. And so they have different levels contribution levels based on how many meals you've provided for Feed My Starving Children, which is another really cool thing about the awards. And so I have some awards that I got that, like I said, when I left, I went to Sedona. When I left Phoenix, I went to Sedona. And I had all of these awards that I couldn't put in my suitcase because they're way too heavy and take up a lot of space. So I ended up, what do you mean sweatshirt off? I see your comment, Clara. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so I couldn't bring the awards home in my suitcase because they were too bulky and too heavy. So I took them to Sedona with me, and I shipped them back to myself. And then they arrived back here shortly after I got back from Sedona, but then I turned around and left again. And I don't know why she's telling me to take off my sweatshirt. I'm not going to take off my sweatshirt. I'm freezing. So anyway, I turned around and left again. And so all of my awards are sitting here. They're still in their boxes. So I'm going to take them out of their boxes while we're here live, and I'll tell you a little bit about each award. And why don't we just start with that? So let me just show you. So here are all the boxes that I had to ship home. You can see like how bulky these are, and they're heavy because they're glass. So, okay. So let's see. And I have a couple of other awards like behind me right here from our last event. So I'm going to put these over with those. This one is the Golden Leader Award for Initiative and Leadership. So I love these. Isn't that such a beautiful award? If you could only feel how heavy this is. And then I have this one, which is, look at these boxes, how pretty inside. The Golden Mike Award has the date on 11/11/22. And this is, the Golden Mike Award is given to those of us that help out with different serving in different ways in the community. Leading a call, or hosting a call on every Wednesday morning, and helping with the mastermind on Monday nights. And so that's the Golden Mike Award. Okay. And then this next one is the most exciting. Hopefully I can hold it together when I talk about this. This is the big one. So this was a big goal that I had. At the last event that we had in January, they announced I had gotten this award for benefactor. So what this signifies is that I had contributed a minimum of 500 meals to starving children. So I got this one in January. And then they announced that they were going to have this other level for the next level, the Oak Benefactor, which is where you have helped contribute at least 5,000 days worth of meals. And for that one, they decided that they were going to give a ring. And I really wanted the ring. I wanted the ring because I had been like, I'm really inspired by the idea that the work that I do helps to feed starving children. And it's been a big driving force for me in my business. So the idea of having a ring on my finger to remind me about the different inspired me, because I have this award, which is amazing, but I don't take it around with me or whatever. So as soon as they talked about the ring, I knew that I really wanted the ring. And you guys, if you look on my YouTube channel, you can see all kinds of other videos about the ring. I showed my progress leading up to getting it and everything like that. But that was a big goal that I set when they announced it in January, was that I would qualify for the ring. And I did. So it was just like a really, really, really exciting milestone for me to hit in my business. And myself and one other person, my friend Rob, for also qualified for the ring. So they presented us each with our ring at the event, and it's made out of crushed black diamonds, and it says freedom and principle centered on the inside. I mean, there's so many like really cool things about this ring, and I don't want to take up the whole live stream talking about it, but I do have some videos where I go into a lot more detail about the significance of it. It's very significant, and I still can't believe it's on my finger. Like, this is such an amazing I'm getting all these really weird comments, so I need to block somebody. Anyway, it was just such an amazing milestone to hit, and so super emotional for me. And I still, like I said, I still can't even believe that this is on my finger, and I love it. And I'm so happy that I've been able to make a difference for the children. And we actually got to go to the headquarters of Feed My Starving Children, which is just outside of Phoenix. While we were there, we went as a community and spent a day packing meals for the children, which was an amazing experience as well. We got to scoop the food and weigh it and put it into the pouches that they use to send out to these different countries. And then after we put all the food, all the boxes of food that we packed up, got put onto this big pallet, and we all got to like put our hand on it and do like a prayer before it got sent off. And they explained that it takes like 2 weeks on a ship to get where it's going. And it just was such an amazing experience. It was so cool to actually participate in that. And the other thing that we got to do that day was present them in person with a check, because all of the money from the ticket sales for our Freedom Fest, after the cost of the event, went to that charity. It was a not-for-profit event that we did. So all of the proceeds went to Feed My Starving Children. And out of that, we were able to donate over 17,000 days worth of meals. Like, I don't even know how many years that is. But anyway, that's a lot of meals for a lot of kids for years. That we were able to contribute just from the proceeds from that one event. And so while we were at Feed My Starving Children, we got to present them with a check, and they actually gave me the honor of presenting the check, which was amazing. And it was one of those big giant checks with the amount on it, and we got to present it to them, which was absolutely incredible. So that was definitely a highlight, being able to go and do that. That was on day 2 of the event. But before I'm getting a little ahead of myself, I just want to show you this last award, which is the big one, is also part of, the same, award that was for the ring. This is the Oak Benefactor. So this is for, this is the trophy for when you get to 5,000 meals that you've contributed to starving children. So let me show you the difference. So I have my Benefactor and my Oak Benefactor. Oh my gosh, I love these so much. And I just love that I have all of these here. So, on day 1, we have these amazing recognition. Oh, and the other thing that I have are the boxes from my ring. When they presented it to me, it was so cool. It was so cool. And like I said, I'll be posting some pictures and stuff. I mean, I haven't even posted pictures or anything yet from the event, because I've been moving and shaking and creating a lot of memories since then as well. But now that I'm home and settled, I'll definitely be sharing some more pictures and details and stuff with you guys. But anyway, so that was the first day of the event. And like I said, I got to speak. I was super nervous. I always get super nervous when I speak to audiences, but it was an honor to be able to speak. And I was, you know, I got to speak that day alongside a lot of other incredible, incredible leaders in our community. And it was just, it was incredible. We even had Mama Elizabeth there. She's the matriarch of our community. She's 82, and I say she's a sage. She is. She's just like so full of wisdom, and she was a civil rights activist, and she's just an amazing, amazing, amazing woman. And she spoke about spiritual wealth, and we just had all different topics, and it was amazing. So that's day one, and that was a full day, all day of speakers, just with a couple of breaks for food, and then speakers and recognition, and it was amazing. And then the second day is when we went to Feed My Starving Children. Am I getting that right? It's been a while, and we did so much. It was so chock full. But yeah, I think the second day was when we went to Feed My Starving Children, and we got to pack the meals and present them with the check and do that as a community, which was literally a dream come true. I see this comment. I'm new to your team, so excited to see what life will hold. Oh, I'm excited to have you here. Can you tell me who this is? There should be a link that you can click so that your name will show up on StreamYard. And if not, you can just type it in for me. That would be awesome, because I love to see your names on here. But welcome to my team. So anyway, so we went to Feed My Starving Children, and then, gosh, I'm trying to remember the order that everything happened. After the Feed My Starving Children event, I'm trying to make sure I'm getting this all right. All right, I'm just going to say it, and maybe I'm going to get my days backwards or whatever, and that's fine. So anyway, we did that during the day, and we went to lunch, had an amazing lunch outside at this really cool like brewery, and it was awesome. And then that night we had an event where Rob Four, who's amazing, who's one of the people in our community, is he's like trained in all kinds of like ninja mindset stuff. So at our last event, we walked on broken glass. You see, I brought home a piece of the glass. He broke up a bunch of wine bottles, and he had them on the ground, and we literally walked across them at the last event in January. This time, we bent rebar with our necks. Like 2 people would stand with a 6-foot piece of rebar between them and go 1, 2, 3, and then you push together and the rebar bends. It was crazy. And he knows what he's doing, so we're in good hands. But it's just amazing to see what's possible with the power of your mind. And it's just a really good lesson in how we get stopped and how we make up things about limitations that we think we have that we don't actually have. Like, we think if we walk across broken glass, our feet are going to be bloody, but we did that and our feet weren't bloody. And then like the rebar, like you can't bend it if you try. It's like really, really, really thick steel or whatever it is. But yet when 2 people set their mind to it and just push together like this, it bends. It was crazy. So we did that night. And anyway, that was really cool. The hotel had this like fire pit area outside that was amazing. It just had like the coolest like fires going, and like the lighting out there. Everything about it was just really cool. So all of the footage from the event looks really cool because of the amazing backdrop. It was like this courtyard. It was just really, really neat. And so we did that, and then we had, I think it was called the Mystical Musical Mastermind, which was basically a night of music. 2 of our community members Minister Christian and Rita Joy Gray brought they drove from Texas with a van full of musical equipment and set it all up and basically had a whole set worth of amazing songs that they performed for us. And their voices are incredible and they're just amazing musicians. And then they let, anybody in our community that wanted to share music could get up and share music. And so it was really, really cool. Like I got to sing a song with Paul Hutchings, who's one of the founders of our community. And him and I learned a song together and got to perform it. And that was definitely a highlight for me. And we got to hear Kevin Sousa, who's also in our community, has like one of the most amazing voices ever. And he sang My Way by Frank Sinatra, and Mama Elizabeth sang. We just had all of these people get up and sing. Angela Amazing actually wrote a song. Anyway, it was amazing. So I know I said I guess now is a good time for me to just mention like, what is a Freedom Crusader? Because I said that I was going to talk about that also on this live stream. So we are a community of people that are all about just freedom through principle-centered leadership. And a lot of what that is it's love. Our community is so full of love in a way that I've never seen in any community that I've been a part of before, especially in the online business space, because usually there's a lot of like competition or like clickiness or whatever. If you go to events, like there's like certain groups of people that hang out together, but not everybody kind of associates with each other. Our community is not like that. Our community is 100% love. I would say that's the foundation of our community. And then we're also very committed to our mindset and committed to like working on our mindset and growing as human beings every single day. And so that's why we have this daily call where we check in and we study success principles on that call. And it's a mastermind. So we share ideas with each other. We always have a book of the month. So, whether people are reading that or something else, we always say readers are leaders. So we're readers. We're people that are constantly wanting to learn and grow. And then many of us are also committed to freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. And what that looks like is leveraged income and residual income. So we can create an income through our community where we do the work once and get paid on it month after month, which contributes to a lot of time freedom. As a matter of fact, I just got back, like I said, from traveling for like a month. And one of my friends, I stopped in New Jersey on my way back from New England for a few days. And at that point, I had been on the road for almost a month. And he said to me, "How do you get so much time off?" And I told him it's because I have residual income. And he didn't really know what that was. So I had to explain it to him. But yeah, it's basically where we get paid every month on the efforts that we've already done. And so as I'm making new sales in my business, that's money that I'm being paid on top of the sales that I've already made in the past that are recurring sales. So it creates a lot of freedom for us in our life, not to mention the way that we do our business. Most of us do it online. And so when I'm traveling, I can do my work from my phone or my laptop. So I don't have to be in a specific place to be able to work. So anyway, many of us are committed to freedom in that way. There are many people in our community that own, different investment properties in real estate. We have a lot of things around financial freedom that are investment based, getting out of debt. Like there's a lot of different levels of what freedom is. And we kind of encompass all of that in our community. So it's just the most amazing community of people, like I said, that I've ever been involved in. And when we go to these events and we do things like bend rebar with our necks, it's like, I've just never been around such amazing people before that like are just completely, I know people go to like Tony Robbins events to do stuff like that and they pay like thousands of dollars to do stuff like that. But at our events, it's just like included. And a lot of the people that do it are people that didn't even think that they were going to do it. Like they didn't really have an interest in that, or they said no way. And then once they see other people do it, they end up doing it and having these huge breakthroughs. And so it's just amazing. It's amazing to witness that. Let me see. What else? Another thing that we did was we went to the Japanese Friendship Garden. And that was, we always have like a fun activity that we just do to spend time together. Usually it's something pretty chill, like something that's like low cost, easy, and chill. So in January, we went to the planetarium in Salt Lake City. This time in Phoenix, we went to the Japanese Friendship Garden. And it was this amazing, amazing place where like all of the rocks and the statues and all of the things around inside of this park were donated from their sister city in Japan. And every rock was placed with intention, and the rocks are all like beautifully lined up, like thousands of rocks, and there's like fountains. I mean, it was amazing. But the most amazing thing about it to me was being able to spend time with people. Like the way that that day kind of went was people were just, it wasn't that big of a place. There were all these little paths and bridges and stuff. So you could just kind of walk around wherever you wanted to go. But what ended up happening is like people would end up either like with a small group of people having some type of a powwow conversation somewhere in beautiful in the garden, or there'd be like people just having one-on-one conversations all around, or a few people just walking together talking. And it was just such a great opportunity to spend quality time with the people in our community, where we're not like in between speakers and, like, on the first day when it was just nonstop content, it was just a time to just be together for a few hours and just kind of hang out in this beautiful place. So that was amazing. And to me, that's one of the most amazing things about going to events like this is the relationships. You can't, I mean, we live streamed the event and the live stream viewers loved it. And the live stream was done amazingly. But there's certain things that just can't be live streamed. You can't live stream the side conversations that are happening. And I can't even tell you some of the side conversations that I had that were like literally life-changing for me. I had a couple of different experiences with people that I had never met before in person. Like Mama Elizabeth, I had never met Mama Elizabeth in person, but I talked to her on the phone a lot. And well, she's on the call every morning, and so am I. So we hear each other on there, and then she'll call me on the phone sometimes, and we'll talk. But I had never met her in person before, so to get to meet her in person was just such an honor. But the other thing was she had her son with her, and I had never met him. He hadn't really, now he's on our calls all the time, but he hadn't really been on our calls. She had talked about him, but I hadn't actually heard him or met him. So meeting him was like a highlight for me. He was just such a powerful guy. And he pulled me aside and said things to me that changed my life. Things that he noticed about me, areas where he saw things that I didn't see about myself, and gave me some really important advice and things like that. That's the kind of stuff that happens at these events. So, that was a relationship that I was not expecting. And, I had another relationship like that where like Josh, who's, a pillar in our community, at the last event, he was there by himself, but this time he brought his wife, and his wife was amazing. And like, I loved her. And I just really, really, really enjoyed her and meeting her and the conversations that I had with her. And so much of that stuff happens when you're in an environment like this, doing cool things like this for a few days with these people. Too many to even list all of the different conversations that happen. And, and then on the last day, the third day, was when we went to the Japanese Friendship Garden. And then that night we did a sunset hike. And Paul went to college in Phoenix, and he used to do the exact hike that he took us on, which is why we did it, because he knew that it was a really amazing place to go for sunsets, because you can kind of like look over the city of Phoenix. And he told me ahead of time, like, weeks or months before the event, he had mentioned that the hike that he wants to do was the hike that where when he was in college, he would do that hike. And he said that on the top of that mountain is where he did this forgiveness exercise where he forgave his father, and it changed everything for him. And so I knew ahead of time that I wanted to do that myself at the top of the mountain. Um, just not for my father, but for some other, things in my life. Um, and so we went on this hike and it was amazing. And again, it was just like a really cool opportunity to spend time with the most amazing people as we're walking up this mountain together, and then getting to the top and being able to just like celebrate that with everybody and sit there and look out over this beautiful like sunset sky. But then I just kind of like went off by myself for a while and I did the forgiveness work, and it was so profound and it was so awesome. And then I got to sit there afterwards with Mike and Paul and just spend some time with them, just kind of masterminding a little on the top of this mountain. And it was getting dark and it was just magical. And then we all came down. And then that night we played music again in the courtyard. I played with Rita Joy and Christian and a few other people, Linda, Rika, a few other people chimed in, and we just had a jam session outside by the fire, and it was just really beautiful and magical. And then I came in from that and it was already late. I don't know what time it was. It was probably like midnight. And I ran into Paul, who I hadn't seen much of that night since the hike. And we sat down to catch up about some things, that I was still processing, and about my forgiveness thing and just different things. And so we started talking. And the next thing you know, like while we were talking, this was like a big lobby. So there's all these different like sitting areas and stuff around in the lobby. And while we're sitting there in this spot, we would see people, like there were different groups of people having conversations. And little by little, people were getting up and going up the elevator and going to bed and going to bed and going to bed. And then I remember Lori Sue coming down. It was like 3 a.m. And Lori Sue, we had seen her go to bed. And now a few hours later, we're still sitting in the same place talking. And she comes back down with her suitcase to go to the airport. She's like, "You guys are still here?" And we had been sitting there talking for like hours. And that was also a highlight of the event for me. Like that conversation was just so cool. And I just loved it so much. And again, like that's the juicy parts of these events. There are those little like nooks and crannies that you get when you just are all staying at a hotel together, and you're spending a lot of time together like that. So that was really neat. And I mean, I think I covered most of this stuff that we did at the event. And then the next day, after I stayed up till 3 a.m. or whatever, the next day was when most people were leaving to go home. And I went straight from there to Sedona with my dear friend Bobby, who was also at the event. And her and I went to Sedona to spend 5 more days. And a lot happened in Sedona. And I'm not going to talk about all of that right now. This is more of a Freedom Fest recap. So that's a conversation for another time, but that was also amazing. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of my recap from Freedom Fest. And so, I mean, there's too many highlights to even like really talk about, but like I said, feed my starving children, getting my ring, and then being able to go to feed my starving children and pack meals was definitely a highlight, not just of the week, of my life. It was amazing. And, just all of the little conversations that kind of happened throughout the event. And the music, I love being able to play music with amazing people and getting to, sing. I sang a song and Rita Joy came up and sang it with me. And that was just such an honor to sing with her. She's amazing. And that was like a dream come true. I mean, there were just so many highlights. And I mean, I could literally go on for hours just about some of the side conversations that I had with people and the breakthroughs that I had because of those. or the things that I noticed about humans by just observing some of the amazing things that people were doing for each other. Like, I mean, I could go on and on, but anyway, mostly my intention for this live was just to say, I'm back and kind of tell you what's been going on. Like I said, I had 2 more trips after that one. I had the Sedona one and the New England one, and I'm not going to give you recaps of all of that right now, but I really just wanted to kind of let you know what happened at Freedom Fest, because I know some people are like, what is a Freedom Crusader? And what is Freedom Fest? And what do you guys do? And like, what is it? Because I talk about it all the time. And so I hope that I've kind of answered some of that. If you have questions about it, if you're here live, go ahead and put them in. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and put them in, and I'll be sure and answer them. But like I said, we are people that come together to study and learn the principles that help us create freedom in our lives. And that looks a lot of different ways. And it involves growth, mindset. It involves growth in skill set. It involves reading. And like I said, the foundation of everything is love for each other. Our community is amazing. Love for the charity that we support, and just love for the world. So it's really, really hard to put it into words, to be honest with you. I feel so grateful to be a part of this community. And, I've been marketing online communities, and I've never been like this. Super to be here. I'm so grateful that I found my way here. And that's what I have to say about that. So I'm not seeing any questions. I will, if you guys want to know more, or just like, here, I'll put up a little thing for you guys. Oops. If you go to this page, affiliatemarketingjunkie.com/resources, that's a page that has all my stuff on it. I have a bunch of free gifts on there for you. I have more information about the type of business that we do. And I have information, if you go on there, one of the links on there will take you to my YouTube channel or my blog, where you can find out, you'll see a bunch of videos that I've done about Feed My Starving Children, about my ring, my goal to get my ring, and like my progress leading up to it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. You can kind of follow along on my journey on there. Everything you need is on this page. And so free to page. And you can even just sign up to get on my email list. If you don't want any of the free gifts, just sign up to get on my email list. There's an option to do that at the bottom of the page. And basically, you'll just get updates from me every time I have a new video or podcast episode or anything valuable to share with you. I will send it to you and hopefully make a difference in your day. Like today, I sent out the morning call that I hosted. And so I sent that out to my email list. And, I just try to send stuff that can make a difference for people. And I don't know what's going. There I am. So hopefully I didn't lose you guys. Did I? Anyway, if you opt in for any of those gifts, you will automatically be added to my email list, and I'll be able to stay in touch with you that way. And if you don't want any of the gifts and you just want to get on my email list, you can do that at the bottom of the page. If you have any questions, again, just put them in the comments. And even if you're watching the replay, I will and answer all of the questions that come in. And I Okay, one more time. I'm trying this. I've been just trying to say goodbye to you guys and I keep getting kicked off. So I don't even know if anyone's still here. I don't know if you guys can even see me, but I just wanted to say a proper goodbye. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope I've answered some of your questions or given you something today that can inspire you in some way. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'm happy to get those answered. If you're watching the replay, just write #replay in the comments so that I know that you were here. Because if I didn't see you on live, I'd love to know that you came and watched the replay. So anyway, have a great day, you guys. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.